This had to be like 79, even before we was fighting A-Trade gangsters. The homies get into it with the Hoovers, and the homies and Hoovers got into it in the skate ring. And I remember we squabbling.
Man, these boys been not liking each other and fighting for a long time. You mean tell me couldn't nobody sit down and just come to a round table and be like, bro, let's live, nigga? You know what I'm saying? Like, I do understand your brother dead, my brother dead, your uncle dead, my brother dead. Can me and you just live, though? Fam bam. So we back, man. Back with another Warren Kelly documentary, man. Shout out Warren Kelly, you did. Well, hey, though, man, y'all know me, man. On this channel right here, man, I do a lot of documentary reactions, and I talk about, like, L.A. a whole lot, you know, and, I be want to do my due diligence when it comes to, like, the Hoovers, the Neighborhood Crips, things of that nature, man. So I had a sub, you know, he reached back, way back, and he found this right here for me, right? And it's basically, like, how the Neighborhood Crips and the Hoovers, how their beef, like, initially started, man. So I thought this was a good video, so I wanted to bring it to the channel and get you guys' opinion on it, man. You feel me? Remember that, though. The comment section belong to the mob, man. It's not mine. You know what I'm saying? Belong to y'all, so y'all make sure y'all utilize it. Just dig. Shout out Warren Kelly, though, man. So up my dog, man. We're going to get into this content, though. Let's get it.
This channel's been a long time coming. I wanted to give a shout out to Hood Politics. I've seen many segments of different cities and different stories, but none of them being correct or accurate. This here is Warren Kelly. Everything you see here is going to be straightforward accuracy. Now let's get into it. My first story, this first segment of Warren Kelly, is going to be the Hoovers versus the neighborhoods. South Central Los Angeles is broken into two sides, the west side and the east side. They're divided by the 110 freeway. The Hoover criminals started in the early 1970s on the west side of Los Angeles as the Hoover Groupers. Around that time, many gangs all over South Central Los Angeles were becoming Crips. Stanley Tookie Williams and Raymond Washington, prominent Crips in the 1970s, convinced the Hoover Groupers to join the Crips. They accepted. By the late 1970s, the Hoovers became one of the most respected and feared Crips in the city. But by the 1980s, they became one of the most hated. As you can see on this map, the Hoovers cover a lot of territory. But this is just a small portion of their territory. They stretch from 52nd to 112th in Hoover. The Hoover consists of many subsets under the Hoover umbrella, starting with the 5 Deuce Hoovers. This is the only Hoover set that remains Crips to this day. The remaining Hoovers are the 5-9 Hoovers, the 7-4s, the A-Trays, not to get confused with the A-Tray gangsters, the 9 Deuces, the 9-4s, the 107s, and 11 Deuces. There used to be a 4-Tray Hoover, but it faded out with many members dying, going to jail, and just a switch in the overall neighborhood. Now this area is considered the dark side 40s Neighborhood Crips territory, which would be the rivals to the Hoovers.
Hey, so, like, how that work, though? Like, what, they just went over there and just kicked the Hoovers up out of the territory? Or the Hoovers moved out of the territory? Like, how did that even happen? Like, how did the Hoovers, like, how did they have some territory and now their rivals have the territory? Like, you know what I'm saying? The only thing I can think about, like, when I used to play San Andreas, like, you go over there, bro, and, you know what I'm saying, you pick up a couple of the homies and you go over there and you smack everything, and then you move your homies in and take over the spot. Was it that? I'm just asking for clarity. So the Hoovers, like, they stopped cripping and then they just start calling themselves criminals. That's what it seemed like, right? It's a lot of them, boy. It's a lot of Hoover sets, boy.
The Hoovers took on a reputation in the 80s and the 90s as one of the grimiest and shadiest hoods in Los Angeles, taking on anyone who challenged them from the Crips to the Bloods. And
they got look at that Asian boy. Asian Hoover. Check him out, boy. Look at little Fu Young over there banging his set, bro. Disrespect and nip.
Some Serrano gangs, gaining them the motto EBK, which stands for Everybody Killer, which caused them many fallouts and many beefs in LA. LA was split into 2 different cards, the Gangster Crip card and the Neighborhood Crip card. The Hoovers chose neither because they had beef with every neighborhood gang, which we'll get into in a minute.
Hoovers got beef with everybody.
Gangs. With all the beef coming from both cards, Hoovers decided to drop the Crip from their identity and just become criminals. With most of their rivals being Crips, they thought, why remain a Crip faction? Orange would become the most identifiable color with the Hoovers. in primary color, and so would the Houston Astro hat to identify the H in Hoover. So by the mid-90s, the Hoover Crips was no longer, but you still may hear some OGs in their 40s and upbringing still refer themselves as Crips. But for the last few decades, the Hoovers have been referred to as criminals. Now let's get into...
I don't know if I would want to be called a criminal, though. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's dope. You know what I'm saying? Whatever go for y'all, go for y'all. But I think a Hoover Crip, that sound kind of better than a Hoover criminal. I don't know, bro. I'm just thinking out, talking out loud, for real.
Rivals, the Neighborhood Crips.
Neighborhood
Crips consists of many different sects. You might be most familiar with the Rolling 60 Crips, which famous rapper Nipsey Hussle was from. But the Neighborhood Crips consists of over...
Long live Hustle, man. I don't gang bang. I don't care what he claim, bro. Long live Hustle. You know what I'm saying? Hustle motivated me to do a lot. That's why I got him in here. And when we move out of here, I'm going to put him in there. Long live Hustle, man. No cap.
30 different gangs in this card. Some being the East Coast Crips, which have many different subsets under that umbrella. Others in the Neighborhood card include the Rolling 40s, the Rolling 90s, as well as the Rolling 100s. They all fall under the Neighborhood card. Rolling 30s are a close ally of the Neighborhood card, but they are not in the Neighborhood card. They are in the Rolling Alliance, which includes the 30s, the 40s, the 60s, the 90s, the 100s as well. In my opinion, I believe this is the biggest card with so many gangs, and those gangs having huge numbers. The Neighborhood Crips started a little bit after 1979, after the war began between the Rolling 60 Crips and the H.A. Gangsters. This war started over a Rolling 60s brother being killed by H.A. Gangster. This war left many picking sides. Some choosing the Rolling 60s, others choosing the H.A. Gangsters. According to Munster Cody, a reputable H.A. Gangster Crip, in his book, The Autobiography of an L.A. Gang Member, page 267, he spotted in 1984 a meeting between the Rolling 60s, the Raymond Crips, and other Crip neighborhoods, which would be a meeting to form an allegiance against other gangs that were their rivals. That would be the Hoovers and any other gang claiming Gangster Crip. The Hoovers are hated by some gangs for different reasons. Shout out to Kev Mack for the insight on all the hoods from his interviews with many neighborhood gangs. You can see the outlooks on why some rivalry started with the Hoovers. Here's Big U.
Big
OG
U.
member of the Rolling 60s. Chris, a part of the Neighborhood card, describing incidents in the late 70s.
We used to go to Horseman. On my first time going there, and we got into the Hoovers. I mean, I don't think we ever got along with the Hoovers in my whole existence. And this had to be like 79, even before we was fighting H.A. Gangsters. The homies get into it with the Hoovers, and the homies and Hoovers got into it in the skate ring. And I remember we scrabbling.
Man, these boys been not liking each other and fighting for a long time. You mean tell me couldn't nobody sit down and just come to a round table and be like, bro, let's live, nigga? You know what I'm saying? Like, I do understand your brother dead, my brother dead, your uncle dead, my brother dead. Can me and you just live, though? I ain't saying let's be friends, bro. I ain't saying let's go out to eat or let's double date or let's go bowling and paintballing and none of that. But can we live, though? Man, Big, you said it been going on since the 70s, man. It finna be 2026 and they still don't like each other, my nigga. God damn, bro. Somebody gotta swallow their pride and say, man, I just wanna live, Mark. This shit crazy.
You described the Hoover Beast starting back in the late 1970s. Here's another OG member of the Neighborhood Crip, or the Raymond set to be exact, also sharing his run-ins with the Hoovers in that era.
It's fighting with y'all, but everybody don't realize the Hoovers started hating us because of our alliance with the 60s. All that shit started in the 80s, y'all and them.
I ain't gonna cap, man. I don't know who uncle this is, who daddy this is, but he looked like he lived a rough life. Straight up. He looked like he been living for a long ass time, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, kids, listen. I don't know this man. Shout out to this man. But don't be like this man, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can tell when somebody's just been doing what the hell they want to do in life. You can look at them. And if your outside look like hell, just imagine what your insides feel like, gang. You know what I'm saying? Straight up and down, man. Real talk.
Who do they see together all the time? What? 60s over here? Raymond's on Brian Hurst. 8th Ave, 11th Ave, you know. The 80s, the 70s beef? It's a 70s beef, but it was no... I was going to Henry Clay, man, in the 70s, man. And we had fist fights because they thought they were stronger than us.
Because you ain't know it. You ain't hearing about
OG
it.
Hawk from the
We
Hundreds.
get into it. Everybody across the army. Blocks too. I said, my hood too. He said, yeah, cuz. He said, nigga, every day, nigga, we been getting up at the Washington at the school let out, homie. We getting down. He said, man, he said, Hawk, you been in jail, nigga. When you go to your hood, homie, they don't let you know what's been going on. I said, damn, homie, I thought, oh, that shit got squared away, man, when I've been going to. He said, oh, no, it came back, man.
She got worse.
He said, man, we fight like a motherfucker, he said.
With over 4 decades of bloodshed between the Hoovers and gangs in the neighborhood car, I would like to take a deep dive into a few cases that have happened in the past between the Hoovers and the neighborhood car. This channel doesn't condone snitching or putting anyone in jail. Everything said.
Look, man, Warren County, we don't give a damn, bro. We don't care nothing about snitching, man. They snitch on themselves, bro. We can snitch on them. It ain't gonna come back to us, bro. We don't even know what you look like, gang. It's not gonna come back to you, bro. Tell it like it is, my boy.
But these cases are public record. It wouldn't affect or get anyone additional jail time.
It don't matter.
Our first case starts in July 11, 1989, of the now non-existent set of the Fort Trey Hoovers. 4 members of the Fort Trey Hoovers, Maurice Taylor, Judah Bean, and Big Black, stood on the corner of 43rd and Kansas. Things quickly went bad when a man named Troy Mitchell yelled from a nearby. Fuck Hoover. Judah Bean
Can't say that. Can't say that.
Altercation pursued. After the fight ended, all of the Fort Trey Hoovers went back to the corner of 43rd and Kansas. Mitchell drew by the group of his fellow Rolling 40 gang members and opened fire on the
Come
group,
on,
hitting Big Black in
man.
the ankle.
They must got whooped. They must got whooped, bro. Four extra must wasn't born yet. If you go back and shoot, bro, you got whooped, gang. Come on, get in the comments, bro. Like, come on. I guarantee you, nobody who ever won a fight has went back and switched his spot. If you won, bro, it kind of like, okay, it's over with. But if you lost, man, something got to happen. So the 40 must have got whooped that day.
And Judah Bean in the arm. Big Black was taken to the hospital, and Judah Bean refused and retreated to an unhouse nearby. Kimberly Johnson, Judah Bean's girlfriend, learned of the shooting and rushed to his aid at his aunt's house. She tried to convince him to go to the hospital, but they never got there. En route, Judah Bean asked her to stop in front of Mitchell's apartment. There stood a group of rolling 40s. One of them held a long barrel shotgun. Judah Bean rolled down his window and yelled, "I wish you would shoot me." He got out the car and yelled it again. Judah Bean got his wish. Moments later, he would be laying there on the ground with one bullet passed through his neck and lodged into his spine.
Come on, Judah Bean. What the hell on there, Judah Bean? But why would you, what the hell? Like, why would you say that? I wish you would shoot. He had to shoot him, because if he didn't, the rest of the homies looking at him like, come on, Mark. Yeah. Yes, sir. You don't, man. You put your hand in fire, you get burned, gang. Like, ain't nobody bigger than the program, bro, for sure.
Another in his right leg. Judah Bean's girlfriend would drive off in fear, leaving Judah Bean on the street.
Hey, I would left him too.
Either ran or piled into their cars. Mitchell jumped in the car and made a U-turn and trampled Judah Bean's body.
Oh my God, ran him over?
Blow. Mitchell would be charged alone, and he would be charged with second-degree murder. Now, this next case I'm about to get into is about Jessica Marie Williams, a.k.a. Groove, a female member of the A. Trey Hoovers. On May 30th, 2008, Joshua Earls was walking from his house on 104th in Manhattan Place when a car pulled up and a passenger with a Yankees hat, which was worn by the Neighborhood Crips, asked Earls where was he from. He started to back up, but before he could, he would be shot in the chest, shoulder, and leg. LAPD recovered 10 shell casings at the scene. June 2nd, 2008, on 67 in Vermont, neighbors would hear around 8 gunshots and a voice yell, "Hoover," and see a person with a Yankee hat run away from the scene. 19-year-old Fenton Brown would be found laid on the ground before he died. He said he was shot by a woman who asked where he was from. June 3rd, 2008, on 81st of Hoover, Groove would be stopped by the police. She had on a Yankee hat at the time. She wore to throw off her enemies. She had a .40 caliber.
I ain't gonna lie, they kind of smart though. You a Hoover wearing a Yankees hat. She got a Yankees hat on, right? But she going at the opposite gang who wear Yankee hats. That's very smart, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because like I was saying, like back in the day, they probably ain't even looked that deep into it to think like somebody would do that. But like, bro, like women are very smart, bro. A lot of times we don't give our woman the credit she deserves. Like that's smart. I would have never thought to do that, but a woman would. That's smart as hell, bro.
Her possession. She asked the arresting officers if they liked her nap pad, which is a diss to Neighborhood Crips. Groove will be charged with first-degree murder of Fenton Brown, who she believed was a 6'5" Menlo Neighborhood Crip, and the murder of Joshua Earls, who was in the Rolling 100 Neighborhood Crip territory when he was murdered.
She smacking.
She received 75
She smacking like a
years
dude.
plus life. This will conclude part 1. If you would like a part 2 or other hood beats discussed, like, comment, and subscribe.
Man, shout out to Warren Kelly, man. It's crazy, like, that all this beef, it started, like, back in the 70s, and them boys still war, and they still beefing, bro. Like I said, I'm not gonna say I don't get it, or I'm not gonna say I'm surprised, because I do understand that blood has been shed, right? So a lot of times when blood has been shed, you know, it's gonna be hard to forgive when, you know, your brother done died, or your uncle done died, or your innocent sister has been harmed. But from 70 to 2026, bro, that's crazy, bro. It's crazy, dog. It's crazy, man. I just don't understand that. That's why every day I thank God that I chose to go right instead of left, man. You know what I'm saying? I chose to try to figure out life in another way other than, you know what I'm saying, follow the crowd and want to, you know what I'm saying, gangbang. Nothing against that, because shout out Neighborhood Nip, but I'm just saying, thank God for that every single day. But hey, though, mob, hey, y'all let me know how y'all feel about it, though, folk, in the comment section down below, man. Don't forget to like that video. Don't forget to sub it up. After y'all sub it up, make sure you ring that bell, because I don't want y'all to miss none of these bangers, folk, man. I'm going to hang it up, man. I think I'm going to go to church in the morning, so I'm going to just let y'all have it tonight. I love y'all, man. Mud life or no life. Mud way, no way, man. I know how we coming. OTM, we getting it straight out the mud. 4-quarter pressure, man. 4-quarter pressure, bro. If you ain't working, you twerking, man. You feel what I'm saying? Get off your ass, man. Go to work. Too much money out here to get. Yeah, smell me. Go out done. I love y'all, man. I'm gonna catch y'all on that next video, man. Let's get it. You know we got the streets, nigga. We got the trap, too. I say my trap doing numbers, I just bust another jewel, got a player around the corner, hey. I say my trap doing numbers like that 05 summer, got a quarter pound.